everyone, thank you for joining me in this video. So this is going to be a Q&A video. I asked you guys to ask me questions and I'm going to answer the questions that you guys sent me. And the ones that I don't answer in this video, I'm going to answer on my blog, which is rawsammi.com if you don't know of it yet. Okay, so I'm going to start with what is posted on Facebook. I'm just going to read your first name, if that's okay. Alan asks, bipolar versus personality disorder, as haven't been diagnosed yet because they're unsure what it is. Thanks. I don't know which personality disorder you're talking of because there are a lot of different personality disorders, but so you're gonna have to talk to your therapist. I know this is pretty obvious, but I'll have to like make a completely different video but about the difference between bipolar disorder and personality disorders, because there are a lot of different personality disorders. I actually made a series about personality disorders a long time ago. There are a lot of different types of personality disorders, and I think the one that might be most like bipolar disorder is borderline personality disorder. I'm not positive about that, but that's what I remember. I think the difference is that with bipolar disorder you have periods of mania or hypomania and periods of depression, whereas with borderline personality disorder, you're just an overall volatile type of person. I don't have my textbook with me right now, but I made a video a long time ago about borderline personality disorder, and people did not like it very much for some reason. So I might make another one and try and make it more likable. I don't know. I think I said something wrong in that video, I guess. I don't know. I'll make another borderline personality disorder video later. So you'll have to keep talking to your doctor or just wait a while and see if actual bipolar symptoms manifest. The next question, are you familiar with the microbiome? If so, what are your thoughts on the microbiome and its role in mental health? I'm just going to stop right there because I've not heard of the microbiome. After this video I will look it up, but no, I have not heard of it. Sorry. Okay, Jerry says, your thought finding and accepting new friends into your life. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Keep up the good work. My thoughts on finding and accepting new friends into my life. I don't know, like once I actually find a friend, I'm definitely going to accept them, but I haven't really found a friend yet. I feel like that just hasn't happened, and I'm not even gonna think about it too much. I'm not gonna worry about it too much because life is too short to sit here and worry about things that I don't have in my life, and I'm just gonna continue being thankful for the things that I do have. And I have a lot of support from people on the internet, even if I don't have like a bunch of friends in my life, and I also have a lot of support from my family and my boyfriend, so I'm just gonna be thankful for that and not worry about that. But yeah, if I ever do find a friend, then I'm gonna be really happy about it. But I haven't really clicked with anyone, and plus I don't really do that much, so yeah, I don't really like seek out new friends because I don't feel like I'm that type of a person where I need a lot of friends constantly around me. So next question is from Marco. What are your two biggest regrets? I guess a big one was staying in that abusive relationship I was in. If you've seen those videos, you'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. I kind of regret not getting out of that relationship right away and not calling the police, which is something that I recommend to people now. Other women who have dealt with that situation, I recommend calling the police if you're ever scared, and then just never talk to that person again. Another regret I think would be not trying harder to go to art school or some other sort of creative school, because when I was an undergraduate, my first semester I was a theater major, and then the next semester I didn't like being a theater major, so I wanted to change to something else, and then I tried to change to graphic design. But then when I went to the art advisor or whatever to change to graphic design, she was a total bitch to me. She was so mean to me that it just kind of scared me away. So I kind of wish that I wouldn't have, I hope I'm in focus. I kind of wish that I wouldn't have gotten so scared off by her, but I went to her to change my major and she was like, you want to change your major now? Come back in the spring. And she was just extremely rude to me, but I kind of wish that I would have actually gone back in the spring and tried to change my major to graphic design, because I feel like that would have been something I would have enjoyed. I like doing creative things on the computer, so that's another big regret that I have, that I didn't pursue what I actually wanted to do, which was be an art major. To this day, I'm jealous of people who got to go to art school, because some of us don't have the luxury of being able to afford art school, because art school is really expensive for some reason. And then I could have been an art major in my undergraduate, but I didn't because I got scared off by the advisor. So anyway, so I'm gonna go over to Twitter and see if there are any questions over there. @ShadyUnique asks, PS4 or Xbox One? I've never played either of those, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say PS4 because I played PlayStation games a lot when I was in high school, and so I'd probably enjoy the PS4. And I think the Game of Thrones game is on PS4. Is there a PS4? I thought there was only PS3. Shows what I know. I would say PlayStation. I would prefer. I don't think I've ever played a game on Xbox. I prefer PlayStation games. I think. @KitLOJ, don't know how to pronounce it. Do you have trouble going to places you've never been? I can't without feeling a ton of anxiety. It could be the agoraphobia. Yes, I do have anxiety going to places I've never been, but it's not an agoraphobic type of anxiety. It's more just a, maybe it is an agoraphobic type of anxiety. I don't know. I would like to think that it's a normal type of apprehension, you know, just like a normal amount of being nervous about going to a new place that most people will have. But also, I also get a sense of adventure out of it. I like going to places I've never been. So partly I get a lot of excitement out of going to places I've never been, mixed with nervousness, but it's mostly excitement. Like, as long as I have someone to go with me, then I'm mostly excited. But I don't like going places alone, even if they're familiar. In fact, sometimes familiar places can give me even more anxiety because I don't want people to like repeatedly see me. Like, I don't want people to know who I am or anything like that. So I kind of prefer going to like completely random anonymous places that I've never been. I have more trouble, strangely enough, I have more trouble going to places that I've repeatedly been a bunch of times. I don't know if that's weird or not, but I don't like going places alone. That's probably the biggest thing, but I'm trying to get over that. I think my biggest stumbling block with not wanting to go places alone is probably, like, I feel more comfortable when I have someone with me, like it's like a safety thing. It's probably a social anxiety thing. Like, it's good to, I feel like I need someone to like lean on in case anything goes wrong, and I feel like just being me out in the world all by myself, it's kind of scary to me, but whatever. I need to be a big girl, I guess. That was a long answer, sorry about that. Okay, the next question is from @Lorelei2911. She asks, have you heard about lucid dreaming, and would you like to have lucid dreams? I have heard about lucid dreaming, and I actually, like way back in the day, I would listen to these hypnotic audios, which now they say like hypnosis audios might trigger psychosis, which is kind of crazy, but I would listen to these audios that are supposed to like lull you into having a lucid dream, or like hypnotize you into having a lucid dream. But even before I listened to those audios, I think I had lucid dreams where I would kind of float above my body. But honestly, I was into it for a little while, but I think now that I've had so many like really weird experiences with psychosis, where I thought a lot of like paranormal things, nowadays I'm not really interested in lucid dreaming. I'm interested in staying completely grounded in reality. So no, I would not like to have lucid dreams. I prefer just having regular dreams. Thank you very much. Ever since experiencing like actually, you know, being out of touch with reality, I don't like, so yeah, I don't like lucid dreaming. It scares me. Next one is from @YouFoundM178. Favorite vegetarian food, favorite healthy food. My favorite vegetarian food is probably, I think I've said this before, but I really like Mexican food, so I'm gonna say like a really good burrito from like Chipotle, or you probably never heard of this because it's not really a chain restaurant, but there's a really good Mexican restaurant called Bar Burritos, and it's kind of only in Georgia, I think, or only in the southeast. It's called Bar Burritos. Really good burritos. But yeah, just like a really good bean burrito with like beans and rice and guacamole and salsa. cilantro and stuff like that. Anyways, I also really like black bean burgers that you get at restaurants where they make it by hand. Really good black bean burgers. And as far as just like a healthy ingredient, I really like, I don't know, I just like a lot of healthy foods, so I don't know if I have like an absolute favorite, but I'm really in the mood for strawberries today, so I'll just say that. I'm gonna go to Tumblr. This is from Melody's Happiness Diary on Tumblr. They said, how is the no medication going? I'm bipolar as well, and I'm also on no meds right now. I think this caused a lot of confusion. I made a video like right after that talking about how, you know, it was a life update video, and I was talking about how actually I'm not getting off meds, but I did half my dose. So my dose is now 150 milligrams of Lamictal. After I made that video, so many people in the comments were saying that it was like a really bad idea, and so it really made me freak out a little bit, honestly. So then I finally decided to make an appointment with a psychiatrist, and I went to a new psychiatrist, and we talked about how, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it or something like that. So we decided to stay on the Lamictal, but if I ever actually decided to get pregnant, because that was my main concern. I didn't want the child to have any birth defects because of me being on medication. So he said just like that actual month when I want to get pregnant, I can wean off of it that month and then stay off of it for just the first for the first trimester when it's the most dangerous for the fetus, and then get back on it. So I figured that was a good idea because I really don't want to have another manic episode, so I'm just gonna keep taking it. And yeah, so for right now I'm gonna keep taking it. If I ever do have a kid and during the pregnancy I find out that I don't need it or something, then I might stay off of it, but right now I'm staying on it, and I recommend everyone else stay on their medication also. Then the next question is from Dides on Tumblr. Okay, they say, hi Sammy, I've been watching your videos for a while now. I immediately identified with your experiences with / views on mental illness. I recently became vegan, and now we have that in common too. It's such an awesome thing, but do you ever get down when you think about how behind most people are on the topic and how much suffering ensues because of this? How do you deal with ignorance towards veganism when it's someone you care about? This is something that really bothered me when I first became vegetarian, and it was really hard. So I think that's one of the hardest things that you deal with when you first become a vegetarian, is just like other people's ignorance and other people's comments towards you, especially from family members. If your family, if there's no one vegetarian in your family, then you can get a lot of like bullying from your family and friends. Even people will bully you about being a vegetarian. It's really awful in my opinion. Like oh, I'm, you know, trying to help animals out, and you know, I'm not causing harm to animals, and apparently that's a source of ridicule. You have to be a meat eater in order for society to accept you or something. I don't know if people like feel that they're being directly threatened just because you don't eat meat. I don't know. But I've gotten more hate from meat eaters than I've gotten more grief from meat eaters than I've ever given to a meat eater. You will know this if you're a vegetarian. Like, people will accuse you of being self-righteous and like trying to tell other people what to eat, but you'll know that it is like the meat eaters who are trying to tell you what to eat. Like, I will go to lunch parties and I'll be like, oh no, sorry, I'm vegetarian. They'll be like, oh, what? You're trying to tell us what to eat? And I'm like, no, you're trying to tell me what to eat right now. Like, they just like flip it around on you. It's like, and like to say that you think you're morally superior or something. It's like, well, obviously you think you're morally superior if you're saying that I'm wrong, but I wanted to be a vegetarian. Anyways, I'm just venting right now. But yeah, like that's one of the hardest things you'll deal with when you first go vegetarian. But now I don't care. Like, I just don't care, and I've like totally accepted myself, and if people don't accept me for how I am, then fuck them. So, and if people like give me hell about being a vegetarian, if I'm like at a dinner or something like that, I just ignore them and think that they're stupid and don't talk to them. I mean, I don't think that they're stupid, but I just think that what they are saying to me is stupid. So if they're trying to like tease me or something like that because of how I eat, then I just ignore it. Just like you should ignore people when you're teased about anything. And by the way, meat eaters, it is bullying if you're bullying someone because of their diet. So you should just, you know, shut the fuck up and let people eat whatever they want to eat. And you know, that's another thing is that, like, you know, you're talking about all this pain that ensues because of this. Honestly, it's just something that you have to accept, that there is nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do, the only person you can control is yourself. So, you know, just do you and lead by example, and maybe people will see that how happy you are as a vegetarian, and, you know, then, you know, maybe they'll be a vegetarian. But just know that there's nothing you can do about it. People are making their own choices for themselves, and if they choose to partake in eating meat, that's their choice, and I'm not going to judge them for that. I, you know, still respect people if they eat meat. I don't, like, think poorly of them. I wish they didn't. I wish everyone, you know, was a vegetarian, because I don't like the fact that animals are slaughtered for people's taste buds. But there's really nothing you can do about it. It's just something that you just have to accept as a truth. But there's just really nothing you can do about it. You can't control what other people are going to do in the world, and the meat industry is such a giant industry. You know, just there's nothing that we can do about it by ourselves other than, you know, quietly spread awareness of it and you know, not eat meat ourselves, and that's pretty much all we can do about it. And, you know, just like every once in a while share something on social media about vegetarianism, and then the right people will see it, and then, you know, just ignore any rude comments that you get about it. But this is the last one on Tumblr. It is from JadeDragon61. They say, do you still read your I Ching book or tarot? I've never read tarot before. I've never done tarot cards or anything. I don't know I've never done tarot. I don't know. But yes, I do read the I Ching. I still do readings of the I Ching. And if you read my blog, you would know that, because I write blog posts about my I Ching reading. I'll do an I Ching reading, and then I will go on my blog and write about, like, what it meant to me and stuff like that. And it continues to be extremely helpful. And I do recommend the I Ching to everyone else, especially if you have bipolar disorder, but for anyone it's really helpful. But especially if you have bipolar disorder or another serious mental illness, I think it's really a good way to ground yourself and develop self-acceptance and a lot of other really good things. So, okay, this one's from Shawn. Top 3 Nirvana songs. My top 3 Nirvana songs are probably A Heart-Shaped Box and, what's that song called? Drain You. I think it's called Drain You. And either Lithium or, yeah, I'll just go with Lithium. But I like most of their songs, so that was really difficult. I mean, this, like, Lithium and like 5 other songs are tied for third. Okay, the next one is from Evelyn. What is your best childhood memory? I think one of my best childhood memories was going on vacations, summer vacations with my family. We would go camping. So I think that's probably some of my best childhood memories, is going camping with my family at the beach. And we would go to, well, Pensacola Beach was my favorite. Pensacola, Florida. That was my favorite place. And then they would also go to Panama City, but I didn't like Panama City as much because it's like way too crowded and lots of like redneck partiers and stuff like that. But I really liked Pensacola, which also had a lot of redneck partiers, but not as much. And the campground was a lot better and it's more private. But yeah, I really liked going camping. My mom would always want to go to Panama City because they would get a hotel there. But I like camping a lot better personally. I'm not much of like a, I don't know, I'm okay like roughing it or whatever, so I like camping and hiking and getting dirty and sandy and stuff like that. But my mom and sister prefer a hotel with a pool because they don't like the beach. They like being in a hotel and a pool, which I'm like, that defeats the whole purpose of going to the ocean. You know, you can go to a hotel with a pool anywhere. But I really liked going to the beach, and I also really liked hanging out with my cousins at my grandmother's house when we were really, really little. We were called the 5 Aces, and the only reason, obviously in a deck of cards there are 4 aces, but we were called the 5 Aces because of me. I was the 5th one, and they wanted to include me, so they called it the 5 Aces just to include me, which is really cute. And we just had our little club and we would play together. So on Twitter, it's from Raymond. Are you getting better at handling negative comments? I think they're always gonna bother me a little bit. Well, some comments bother me more than others. Like some mean comments I'm just like, that is completely stupid, and I erase it and I don't think about it anymore. But then other mean comments, they just make me so mad. Just if they say something that, and I'm sure some people are like, oh, like, did I strike a chord? And it's like, no, you're being an incredible ignorant dick bag. That's what you just did. So I had people like, oh, I must have struck a chord. It's like, no, you didn't strike a chord. You were like such a douchebag that it depresses me. You're such an ignorant douchebag that it broke a tiny part of me inside. So, you know, just like a normal person, there's gonna be people who piss me off, but I think I have gotten better at it. I just delete it and don't think about it. At first, they would depress me a lot more. I guess, I don't know. But I think I've gotten better at it, I don't know. I've gotten better at dealing with the more idiotic ones, because I think back in the day I would like try and argue with the extremely idiotic ones, but now I'm just like, that's extremely idiotic. I'm not even gonna touch that. But then there's other ones that are just like, just make me like genuinely angry because I'm just sad that someone actually thought that sort of thing. But anyways, next one, who is your favorite rapper and why is it at Drake? I don't listen to rap music, so I don't have a favorite rapper. That's all I gotta say about that. Okay, next one is from @BipolarBarbie_. Do people in your life know about your YouTube channel? Do they watch? What kind of reactions do you get? I think they vaguely know about my YouTube channel. I know my sister knows about it because once one of my videos got 100,000 views, I like told my sister and I was like, this video has 100,000 views, oh my god. And she was like, oh really, show me. And then I showed her and then she was like, oh, I can't watch it, it depresses me. And then one time she showed one of my vlogs to her students. She's a media specialist at a high school and she showed one of my vlogs to her students to like give a good example of a vlog. And I'm like, no, my vlogs, I'm not a good YouTuber, don't use my vlogs as an example. And like she said, like at the beginning of the video I was just like cussing like left and right, and then she was just like, don't tell your parents I showed you this, please don't tell your parents. And I was like, Desi, like my videos are not family friendly or they're not kid friendly. I'm sure a lot of teenagers do watch my videos, but, and also I have tried to cut down on my cussing because I just kind of like, I don't know, just for the benefit of young people who do watch this, I decided to try to cuss a little bit less. People in my life vaguely know about it, but I don't know if they watch it at all. I hope they don't watch it. I don't know. I don't think that they really watch it just because they're like, oh, that's Sammy, this is weird, I don't want to watch this. As far as what kind of reactions I get, I don't really know what kind of reactions I get because I don't know who watches it. Okay, I'm gonna do one more quick one that is on Facebook, and that is from Mikey. Who is your closest relative and why? My closest relative is either my mom or my sister or my dad. I don't know. Either my mom, my sister, or my dad. They're probably my three closest relatives. I feel like I can call my dad whenever I have a problem. I feel like I can be girly with my mom. And then with my sister, I feel like she's like my friend. I'm pretty close to the three of them. And yeah. So thank you guys so much for your questions. Please look out on my Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. Follow me on those so that you will know when I do another Q&A. If you didn't get your question answered and you did ask a question, I'm going to try and answer the rest of them on my blog. If you missed it this time, don't worry, I will do another Q&A. I think I'm going to do one like once a month or more often maybe, but at least once a month. So be sure to follow me on one of or all of my social networks. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys have an awesome day and I will talk to you later. Alright.